Hey, it's your friend Vivian, and welcome to Talk the Talk podcast. I'm your host, English teacher, and someone who's just out here figuring life out like everyone else. If this is your first time tuning in, hi, so glad you're here. This podcast is my little corner of the internet where we talk about real stuff freely, honestly, and always with the goal of helping you improve your English in a natural way. Today, I want to talk about something that I think a lot of us, especially us adults, need to hear. Everyone's timeline is different. Yep. Whether we're talking about learning English, getting a new job, starting a family, launching a business, there is no one size fits all schedule for life. And let me just say, this has been a lesson I've had to learn the hard way. First of all, let's talk about the pressure to keep up. You ever scroll through Instagram or LinkedIn and suddenly feel like you're way behind in life? Like, how is she already a director at 29? Or how are they buying a house while I'm still renting? Ah, it's the worst. But here's the deal. We got to take accountability for how we let comparison affect our self-worth. Social media only shows the highlight reel, right? It doesn't show the late nights, the tears, the setbacks. So if you've been feeling a little behind, take a deep breath and acknowledge that your timeline is valid, even if it looks different from everyone else's. For me, I didn't start teaching English full time until my 30s. Before that, I worked in HR, managed programs, did a bunch of stuff that helped me build the skills I needed. Even if I didn't know it at the time, and honestly, the late start ended up being the best thing for me. Second, learning English on your own timeline. Let's talk English for a second. I've had students say, I should be fluent by now, or I feel embarrassed that I still make mistakes. Hey, let me tell you this. Learning a language doesn't come with a deadline. Some people learn faster, sure. Others hit more obstacles. Maybe your job is super demanding. Maybe you're a parent and don't have time to study every day. That's okay. What matters is that you're showing up, even if it's just 10 minutes a day. And listen, you're going to hit a snag here and there. You're going to get caught off guard by a question or totally blank on a word you knew yesterday. That's totally normal. It doesn't mean you are failing, it means you are in the process. And if you ever feel like quitting, keep going because eventually things start clicking. Trust me, confidence grows. And one day you're going to look back and be like, damn, I really did this. Third thing I want to talk to you about when life doesn't go as planned. Now, let's talk about when life throws you curveballs. Maybe you thought you'd be married by now, or living in another country, or speaking English like a native. And instead, everything feels kind of up in the air. I've been there. I've had projects in the works that completely fell apart. I've had months where I felt like I was just surviving, not thriving. And you know what? That's life. Messy, unpredictable, and often beautiful in ways we didn't expect. A friend of mine once had a plan to partner with a company for a big course launch. They were about to cut a deal and then they ghosted him. He was so disappointed. But now he realizes that made room for him to build his own thing, his own way. So, yeah, sometimes you hit a snag, but that doesn't mean the story's over. Now, if this isn't your first time listening to this podcast, you probably already know by now that I like to say this: give yourself grace. If you're listening to this and feeling like you're on thin ice with yourself, like you're constantly disappointed by your lack of progress, please be gentle, be kind to you. We're all doing the best we can. Try this. Instead of comparing yourself, keep your eyes peeled for opportunities to grow in your own way, not someone else's way, your way. That might mean asking for help, trying something new, saying no to something that doesn't serve you. And sometimes the best growth comes when we stop overthinking and just start doing. Don't wait for the perfect plan. Just show up. Speak that English, even if it's awkward. You're not an AI. You're not a robot. You're not Cambridge Dictionary. You're human. Launch that idea, even if it's messy. Post that video, even if it's not a polished version. The momentum comes after the action, not before it. All right, before I go, let's break down some of the expressions I use today. I always want this podcast to help you grow your vocabulary too. So here we go. Number one, take accountability. Accept responsibility for something. Example, I had to take accountability for wasting time instead of blaming others. Two, to acknowledge, recognize, or admit something is true. Example, she needed to acknowledge her progress, even if it was small. Three, tackle, deal with something difficult. Example, it's time to tackle that big project you've been avoiding. Number four, caught off guard, surprised, or unprepared. I was caught off guard when they asked me to speak in English. Five, on thin ice, in a risky or dangerous situation. Example, after missing deadlines, she was on thin ice with her boss. Number six, to hit a snag, face an unexpected problem. Example, we were ready to launch, but then we hit a snag with the website. Seven, keep one's eyes peeled. Stay alert or watch carefully. Example, keep your eyes peeled for job openings on LinkedIn. Number eight, cut a deal. Make a business agreement. Example, they were ready to cut a deal, but the terms didn't work out. Number nine, up in the air, not decided or settled. Example, our vacation plans are still up in the air. 10, in the works, in progress. Example, a new course is in the works, and I can't wait to share it. Okie dokie. If this episode spoke to you, if you felt seen, understood, or just a little more motivated, do me a favor. Like, subscribe, share this podcast with someone who needs to hear it. And of course, hit that bell so you never miss a new episode. You never know who might be silently struggling, thinking they're behind. Let's remind them and ourselves that we're exactly where we need to be. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'll see you next time on Talk the Talk.